Hello and welcome. My name is Trismegistus, and in today's stream we're going to do something slightly different in that we're going to start off by looking at the Factorio Friday Facts. For anyone that isn't aware, the Factorio devs used to do a regular blog post every Friday while the game was in early access. Once it came out of early access, they stopped doing them as regular updates, but they occasionally drop a little bit of a information dump. There was one, the last one I did of these. They teased the new enemies for the new expansion, or a new enemy, or at least the concept of for a new enemy. Whether it makes it in and what it eventually looks at, we don't know. But they certainly gave us a tease, and we all speculated about what the expansion was going to be. This is similar in that it's got a expansion. I will be reading the full thing through. I'm going to edit this down as a YouTube video, like I did on the last one. So after I've gone through this, it shouldn't take long. It's mostly going to be me reading and then speculating. But once we've done that, we'll hop over into Bob's. There's actually been an update for basically all of the Bobs. I don't think it's changed things massively. It has invalidated a couple of recipes. I don't think it affects us. I think it's just a renaming thing. I think Bobbing About has gone through and sort of renamed some of the technologies and stuff like that, but I think the basic techs are still there. So in case there is anyone watching, people don't usually join until a bit later. I need to rework my schedule, I think. But if there is anyone watching, I'll probably be just reading and then pausing to sort of speculate and check out chat if you are there. Right then, so Friday Facts 372 2022 recap. So this was posted just at the very end of last year, and cool explosive at beans. Hello there. Welcome to the stream. Just I say, in case there is anyone watching, I'm just going to read through the Friday Facts to start with, and then I say we're going to have a chat about the. Thank you for the follow as well, very much appreciated. So apologies if I ignore you to start with, but yeah, anyway, let's read it through. Hello, another year has come and gone. We know this year we were very sparse with only details about the expansion, and it is what you all really want to hear about. Trust me, we really want to tell you about it, and in time we will. There are still some major sections of the gameplay being changed and adjusted, and if we tell you about them now, the information would quickly become outdated and inaccurate. For now, we can offer this Christmas postcard Albert has made, which has a sneak peek of some of the new icons. So I'll come back to this. I'll run through what I think some of these might be. Some of them, one of them I think is obvious, or possibly obvious. The others, open speculation. The third one seems to be a lot of different ideas what it might be, but so I'll come back to that one. As well, we do have some other topics we can discuss. So the next major one is the sales update. This year we have reached another sales milestone with 3.5 million sales being passed this Christmas. We are still having steady and consistent sales of about 500,000 each year, which in retrospect validates the original no-sale policy we have stuck with since we launched on Steam in 2016. So no-sale policy is just a policy that they don't do sales, basically, so it's always been at the same price. It hasn't. They have actually increased it when it came out of early access, but yeah, it's basically it's a consistent price. Oh. So Moobot's not working. Okay, fine. So Switch sales. The Nintendo Switch launch went well. So far we've sold over 40,000 copies, which is around what I expected. It looks to be extremely popular in Japan, which we're close to 40% of Switch sales from there. Since launch, I have been mostly focused on resolving bugs and crashes. Now I'm working on some small improvements to free cursor and car driving, which will be released soon. Bringing controller support to PC and Steam Deck, and full keyboard and mouse support for Nintendo Switch will be next. It takes time as it's just me focusing on this, so I appreciate the patience. So the sales there, I mean, that's pretty impressive numbers, I think, for a sort of indie game. I know something like Stardew Valley, I think, is one of the biggest selling indies of recent years. But it certainly puts it up there. 3.5 million is a lot of sales. And I mean, even if you do the maths on the numbers, using the old price that it was in early access of £15, $15, I think it was. That's 35 million, half as much again. So what's that? 50 million in sales, presumably. And I say they've never done a sale. It's never been cheaper than that price. So, that's a lot of cash. It's obviously been it's been being developed since, was it 2014 or something? So if you sort of divide it up by that, it's not quite as much per year. but yeah, it's pretty expensive numbers. Good stream. Thank you very much, Good Explosive Beans. I hope you're having a good new year, by the way. I say I'll be reading this and then dropping in, so apologies if you post and I don't see it for a while. But thank you very much. I hope you have had a good new year so far. You just call me Beans. Okay, cool. Switch sales then, yes. So I'm a bit surprised that's so low, actually, 40,000. Obviously, Switch is like one of the best-selling consoles, so that seems quite a low number. But then I suppose you are talking, a niche type of game. I think it's more popular on PC than I think a lot of sort of media outlets appreciate. I think this type of game is more popular. It's a bit like the paradox I think a lot of, like say, media outlets have, in that these live service games are hugely popular, but if there's no one on the team who really covers them, or like survival games are hugely popular. But if there's not a person in the office who's into survival games, they just sort of ignore them, even though millions and millions of people play them. It's like, for example, V Rising this year was a hugely popular game at the start of the year, but I think because it's not, a lot of, say, media outlets don't have people playing that sort of genre, everyone's forgotten about it. But yeah, so 3.5 million sales is really good. 40,000 I think is a bit low, I would have thought, but I say you are talking a niche game, and also there's this issue that it's not really properly supported. The control scheme, as I understand it, is a bit weird, and say that is that's something they're working on. I'm certainly interested in. I have a Steam Deck, and I'm certainly interested in an official control scheme for Factorio for it, but I think that's going to be a little while before it comes. Thank you very much. I shall indeed. Okay, so pretty good numbers, I would say. So the mod portal recap. This is first bit's a little bit first bit's interesting, and the next bit I'll just read through because it's not. I don't think it's all that interesting. But anyway, so mod portal recap 2022. There are only two hard things in computer science: cache, invalidation, naming things, and counting stuff. Just that is a joke. There's three things and it's two things. I think I think you're for all of you people that. But anyway, so when I joined Woob as a operations developer in 2021, one of my first tasks was to prevent people from artificially inflating mod download counts by senselessly smashing the download button. This meant, I think one of the reasons they've done that, it's sort of a weird thing to say, but I think it's because a lot of people sort by popularity of downloads, so the number of downloads, and then pick mods they're going to play based on those number of downloads. So I think that's what they're referring to there. They don't sort of explain it though. This meant keeping an inventory of which mods users downloaded. This not only helped combat download count inflation, but it also enabled the creation of the Downloads tab in each user's personal mod portal library, as well as providing more detailed download metrics for every mod. It also made a brand new feature possible, the 2022 Mod Portal Recap. So we'll click on Visit Your Personal Recap page now to see some stats on your and everyone else's Mod Portal activity this year. So one of the things I've noticed about this, so this is my things. I have quite a lot of mods downloaded. I don't have them. I only play certain mods at certain times. But what they mean by downloads, and this is one of the things I think that this is, because I've got Space Exploration downloaded. I have never played it though, and yet it said it's one of my most downloaded. And what it is, I think it's every time there's an update, everyone has to download the update. So it's sort of not inflating it because people are faking the numbers, but obviously SpaceX has had quite a lot of updates this year because it went into a next big version. Or Crash Story 2, I mean, obviously that's a while ago, but say if they do a little update, they fix a bug or something, then it counts in this list. So Crash Story 2 I played last year, but SpaceX I haven't actually played yet. It's it's on my list to play. But yeah, so it's certainly an interesting set of stats, I think. In 2022, there were 638,886 players who downloaded 41,244,805 mods. So this is counting all the times the download button for a mod was clicked in 2022. And I say, I don't think it's quite that. I think it's, if there was an update, then it counts as well. If we sum the unique user count for each mod in 2022, we get 25,145,748 downloads. What's the more informative number? I don't know. Counting stuff is hard, right? So this is their point about what stat do you go with. 1,686 new mods and 7,227 mod updates. And as I say, I think that is being counted in the stats, which is why it's not quite what it seems. 1,221 active mod creators supported by 103 collaborators. With all the extra usage statistics, we can also do some interesting comparisons. So these two charts, the numbers might be a bit small, so I'll just say them. So users grouped by number of mods downloaded. So the top number here, 1 to 9, 10 to 49, 50 to 99, 100 plus. This is the number of mods that people have got downloaded. And so as you can see, 1 to 9 is 30% of the player base. I'm not sure if this is, if you've got no mods downloaded, I assume you just don't count in this chart. You know, there'd be an extra pie for a 0. But then 44.4%, so almost half of players have got between 10 and 49 mods downloaded. 50 to 99 is 16.4, and 100 plus is 8.6%. So remarkably, nearly 10% of players, or certainly users on this list, have got over 100 mods downloaded. I presume not installed all the time. Whoops, come back to that later. But for mine, for example, yeah, so I've got 80 mods downloaded. I don't play with 80 mods all the time, and some of them are, like mutually exclusive. But yeah, so I'm in this bit of the pie here. But a quarter of people, or counted in that chart, have got 50 plus mods downloaded, which is quite impressive, really. The second chart then is mods grouped by number of downloads. So we've got 0 to 19, 20 to 99, 100 to 499, 500 to nearly 2,000, 2,000 to 50,000, and 50,000 plus. So as you can see, the pies are 7% on the first lot, 30% in that 20 to 99, 18% in that 100 to 500, 500 to 2,000 is 19.5%, and then, well, between them, more than 2,000 is about a quarter of the chart. Again, I think this is being inflated by, so if SpaceX does a tiny update, fixes a bug or changes a spelling error or something like that, everyone who has the mod downloaded has to re-download it, and it counts basically. People really love mods. Yeah, I mean and also the level of support they have is like really, I mean, it's one of the best, or one of the easiest games to mod I think I've ever played. There would only be like the Steam integration would be possibly even more people would have that, where you can download mods on Steam, because game Teardown is a really good, well supported mod thing, but that's all done via the Steam downloads basically. So I think their mod portal is also very good in the sense that it cuts straight to the point. It's not a great UI, but it kind of gets straight to the point. But yeah, mods are brilliant in this game as well. I mean, some of them are just amazing what people have done. We are very thankful to our extraordinary modding community for keeping many engineers busy while waiting for the expansion. In addition to creating great mods, they also provide modding tutorials and tools for mod development, such as IDE integrations and automation tooling. So IDE is Integrated Development Environment. So basically a very easy way of producing mods. So it's mods supporting mods. Yeah, so I'll just run through this bit. I don't know it's that interesting, but I'll just make sure everything's sort of read out, really. Mod Portal changelog 2022. This year started with a big CDN migration for all web assets, including mods. Today, just the mods data CDN alone is delivering more than 1 terabyte of downloads a day. That's pretty impressive. Then the Mod Portal gained some new public HTTP APIs for editing mod details, publishing new releases, etc. We also did some significant behind-the-scenes work by consolidating all Factorio web services into one glorious mono repo. I'll be honest, I don't know what some of those are. Obviously, an API is a way of getting at the thing. I believe that's like basically a way of automatically updating the mod portal. for mods, but say I'm not really a web developer, so some of these I don't really know what it's referring to. To guide future mod portal developments, the mod portal survey was released in June and July. And in July, we published results on our forums. 2 of the most requested features were bookmarking and a rework of the mod categories. The mod portal and Factorio both gained the bookmarking feature after the summer holidays, shortly followed by a rework of the top right navigation and introduction of the personal library showing recent downloads, bookmarks and collaborations. And, guided by community feedback on our forums, the new mod categories and tags launched in December. This wraps up 1 year of mod portal changes, and we're happy to continue this in 2023. We'd also like to read your thoughts and feedback on the forums. So yeah, so I say, sort of a more technical thing at the end there. I confess I've not really looked at the bookmarks and the tagging much on the portal, because I've been sort of playing Bob's, and I've not really been looking at a lot of the new mods for a while, but yeah, I know it's on there. We are looking forward to the next year, and while we can't promise anything, we hope there will be lots of Factorio news for all of you to be excited about. As always, let us know what you think at the usual places, and we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So I'm not sure does this work on here? Yeah, there we go. Take us back up to the top. So yeah, so that's sort of the update, really. Obviously, sales numbers are impressive. The continued work on the mod portal, it's great that they're supporting that, and as you say. But Beans, mods are popular in Factorio and so easy to use that, that's not surprising, really. I did think it'd be worth just taking a look at the teaser image. I think a lot of people have speculated about what some of these are, and I kind of agree with the sort of group thoughts. Obviously, you've got the 2 biters here. There don't look to be any differences. I can't see. This isn't like a sneaky teaser for new enemies that I can tell. These appear to just be the blue biters, so it's not like they're not purple or something hinting at that there's going to be a new level of biters or something like that, but they just look like the standard biters to me. Obviously, you've got a Christmas paraphernalia, and it's really these 3 machines here. Now they do say, or did it say, or people just assume that? Yeah, so sneak peek of some of the new item icons. So the item icons are obviously the ones that appear. So when you're doing the research and you're on the the research list, those are sort of the icons that it shows. Although I think actually item icons are the ones in your inventory, and sometimes they aren't quite the same. I think that's what that's referring to. But yeah, so you've got the 2 icons, like the research ones and the actual inventory icons. Obviously, these are the 3D models, so they're not the actual flat pictures. So we can't really infer size from these. These could, the icon for a speed module, which we know is tiny, is disproportionately. It's not scaled to something like the rocket launcher, which is the biggest sort of item in the game. So we can't really tell the size of these icons or the actual items they're representing by the icons. This blue one looks to be the biggest, but it is closest, and the other 2 look to be about the same size, but say it could mean nothing. But all 3 of them, well, these 2 certainly look like machines. They look like new assemblers of some description, or item processing things, or buildings in the game. This other one, I'm not so sure about that. It could well be another building. It could also be, entirely speculatively. But if the general speculation that we're going into the sea, we're going to start exploiting the water, this could be something that attaches to the power armor. So, because it looks, if you look at it, like it's got some kind of vacuum system on it. But of course, that could also mean a processing machine. You can have a vacuum-produced item. You can have sort of what would be an example? Maybe a new type of structural material that uses sort of a bubble shape. So, it has like a vacuum forming system, like where you get a vacuum forming plastic, that sort of thing. So that could be one spec. But I say, to me, it looks like it could be something you attach to, say, the power armor or something like that. It's a new helmet, effectively, that could take us underwater. Or say, easily it could be, a new machine. So they look like speed modules. Okay, that's interesting. This one here, to me, looks like a new type of smelter, basically. So I don't quite know why we're now, pouring liquid metal. That's an interesting change to the game. Obviously, you've got in the Bobs, I'm about to play sort of thing. There are. Oh no, it's not in Bobs. It's in Angels, I think, isn't it? Well, it's new types of smelting where you produce liquid metals, basically, and that's what this looks like. What's particularly interesting about that as a possible possible, item they're adding is they did say that the new expansion would be entirely compatible with the existing base game. So why would we would now be smelting? You obviously take iron and turn it into steel. So the implication then is you're going to take steel and iron, maybe, or maybe add coal into it or something and make something else. But what that something else would be, I don't know. Because if they added something like aluminium, I suppose it depends on how they did it. Because if you had an existing save file and you wanted to play the expansion on, so you've got your existing base, and they suddenly add in bauxite for aluminium processing, how is it going to handle that? Because if you've ever turned RSO on in a mid game, as it were, you get this like weird dividing line between the old generation and the new generation. It doesn't regenerate the old map. So where would these bauxite patches appear if that was how it was doing? The other option, of course, it could be at sea. So you could be mining some kind of mineral resource at sea, and then it has to be brought to land, and that could be more easily done. You just find patches of sea and adds on some new resource. That would be a bit weird. You would expect oil to be at sea rather than sort of a metal. But yeah, so it's interesting how that will actually work. But the implication is to say it's reprocessing existing materials to get a new material. This one, I've seen a couple of ideas on this. To me, I don't really know. I mean, obviously it's got the electricity on it, so it looks like a power thing. But people have said this looks like a stator winding machine. Why we would have that now, and stators being part of an electric motor, if you're not aware, but why we would suddenly get a stator winder when we've already got electric engines? I mean, they are made in a weird way where you just take a standard engine and sort of shove lube into them, and suddenly that's an electric engine. But why we would suddenly get an electric motor when we've already got an electric motor, I don't know. It does look a bit like a capacitor, basically, where you have the two plates. So my thought was it's maybe a new type of electric generator, or maybe a booster, or perhaps maybe it's a wide area beacon, something like that. And this is the electric arc, because the existing beacon has the electric arcs on it. So this could be like the super beacon, which covers a much wider area. And that would be how they would get around. So rather than introduce new modules, instead you get the super beacon, which allows you to put more effects onto the same machine. But yeah, so those are my sort of speculations of what they were. Something to related to going into the water, basically. Something to process new materials, and a new either beacon or way of generating electricity. I've seen speculation that the blue one is maybe something like a fusion generator, maybe a fusion power generator. I couldn't really see that. It doesn't look like it's got a way of loading material in. It is interesting that this looks like a flap that folds down. Like you would grab it and sort of pull it out. So I don't know what's going on there, but yeah. So they look like speed modules to you. But being actually interesting. I mean, it could be a system of like attachments to other machines. I certainly agree. So obviously you've got the green efficiency modules. The sort of pink, the sort of orangey, pinky prod modules and the blue speed modules. So there's that aspect to it, and it is interesting that they've gone with that colour scheme again, because there was I seem to remember a Friday Facts where they were talking about sort of harmonising the colour scheme, but they don't really apply it, because assemblers start grey, go blue, and then go green, and that doesn't work as a with the blue, green, orange scheme. But yeah, interesting. I'm hoping, I'll be honest. I didn't know whether the bows were any kind of hint as well, because obviously they're just playing with primary colours, I guess. But the blue machine has got red on it, and so I didn't know if that was some secret hint as well. But I say that's all I think that's on there. I don't think there's anything new with the biters. So yeah, so that was my sort of thoughts on it. Christmas, yeah. Obviously it's Christmas for now, but I think they did say at one point, didn't they, that it was a couple of months ago, that it was about a year off, and my sort of speculation was that at the time was that they were going to do a Christmas, they were targeting a Christmas next year release when they said it was about a year away. So yeah, that could be the secondary hint, in that this is a Christmas present for all of us, to give us a bit of a tease this year, and also it's coming out Christmas next year. Okay, yeah, so I think that's all that's on there that I wanted to talk about. So if you're watching this on the YouTube, thanks for taking a look. And I say, I would be interested to know your thoughts, if you've got any, as to what these hints are and what the expansion is going to be. Right, so let's swap over to Bob. So I'm just going to shrink that back down again. I've already loaded it up, but I need to switch over on here. I also need to turn off, hopefully that's not been deafening. I've had the game soundtrack running to give it a bit of background. I should be able to switch that over to that one now. Cool. And then I need to switch that over. Click on that. No, that didn't work. Why did that not work? Yeah. So this is obviously the Bob. So I'm going to do, I don't know, at least 2.5 hours, but might do 3 or so. It depends on when I get hungry, really. I was saying on my tweet, I wasn't planning on streaming today. I was planning on being hungover, because I was meant to be going to see a friend. And it sort of downgraded itself as time went along, and but I was going to have a few beers, get drunk. But unfortunately, he's tested himself for COVID. It's not come back positive. So it's probably this flu that's going around. But unfortunately, I say he wasn't particularly well, so we ended up cancelling the plan altogether. So I didn't even have a drink. So I'm completely, not hungover at all. I watched the fireworks on the Thames instead. It's quite a good display, actually. But yeah, so I thought I might as well stream, basically, because I didn't have a lot else to do. So we'll continue the Bob's playthrough. Tomorrow I probably will stream as well, like in the evening. So effectively I've moved the streams over. So this would be my normal Saturday stream, starting at 3 o'clock-ish, and tomorrow I'll do the 6 o'clock one. But yeah, so I think it was last night, I think it was this morning actually, that there was a big update to every single Bob's mods, component, as it were, every part of Bob's mods. But it seems to be things like tweaking of recipe structures, like that one there, and renaming of things I think, because I'm not sure exactly what these are quite. Obviously it says it's removed technologies. I don't know if I haven't. I'm pretty sure unlocked a lot of these anyway, so it won't matter. But for example, change recipes. I'm not sure that some of these aren't just tweaks to names, basically, but I did load it up before, and it obviously gave me this warning. And I can't see any of the recipe icons having broken or gone type of thing, so I think we should be okay, but I'll have a check round and make sure everything's sort of working. How am I still able to talk? How do you mean? Do you mean as in streaming, or I natter on all the time. I said this before, I tend to talk to myself. Anyway, it's just a thing that I do, and it's part of the reason I started streaming. Was that, somebody basically said, the amount you talk, because when we had the, why is that not working? Done it again. When we had the lockdown, I played a few, online games with some friends, and they commented that I was just nattering away almost to myself, sort of thing. Right then, so let's have a look and see if there's any machines that aren't doing anything they're meant to. Need to turn that up because it's a bit quiet. So we did have some bits and pieces. Okay, so we've got no gaps or anything. And all the machine recipes still appear to be there. I'll have a check and see if there's any technologies that we need to re-research, or early ones that have been introduced. But I can't see any problems with... No, is that... So this has gone empty. Why is that completely empty? Because it's not got basic carbon. So why have you not got water? Is that just me messing something up? Because this doesn't appear to have water in the pipe at all. Oh, there's a train line. Oh, I forgot to put that in. Where's the pipe? So I got an empty pipe to nowhere. Huh. I must have rerouted that when I had put the train in, and perhaps it was here, the bend, as it were. Okay, so I don't think that's a recipe change. That's just me being a silly person change. Let's put that in. 35 minutes to just straight talking non-stop. How is your throat? Not so. It will be by the end of the stream. So I only usually, and thank you for the hydrate again. I usually only stream for sort of 3 hours. So by the end of that, I will be a bit parched, I imagine. But no, I don't. I say, sort of used to just chuntering away, really. But so are these all okay? I think these are okay as well. Welcome, by the way. I didn't say hello properly. Thank you for the follow and redeeming the points. Yeah, these all seem to be okay. So, so looks like there have been some tweaks to recipes. So we've now got this steam power. That's only 10. Have I got? No, I forgot to put the listing on, didn't I? I wonder if I must have had that before. Because I've got fluid handling. Except I haven't. Bottled gas processing. I think I've already unlocked some of these. So yeah, it looks like the recipes have been tweaked. And I don't know if that means it's reset everything. But yeah, that's definitely... Steam power is obviously... Because that's a basic boiler, isn't it? Which I've already built. So does that mean it's locked me out of the... building those basic boilers? I can't remember where he put the power. So that was the steam power. So it should now be on here. Yeah, there we go, you see. I've obviously already done Steam Engine 2. So I've already got that, even though I've literally only just, in theory, unlocked the level 1. Okay. Interesting that these were running, though. So, obviously doesn't block you off. So, I'm guessing Assembly Machine 2. I wonder if that's different or new. I think I had that one as well. I say, because Have I done concrete? I'm not sure if I did. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I did fluid handling, because that was what I was going to work on next, I think, after I... So last stream I basically spent all stream warning myself in. So we're basically blocked in here. In theory there could be some biters, because it took a while to do that, but I haven't seen any hints, and we did have a bit of a drive around. So right, the next job was going to be oil. So in theory, okay, it's making circuits now. Yeah, that's all running. So this is all just thrown together basically. There's no, because I'm playing this for the first time. I've never done Bobs before. The only mod overhaul mod I played is Factorio 2. Okay, so it's at least running. I was just wondering whether I'd actually, done Automation 2 already. I don't think I had, because I would have surely made some higher level assemblers, unless it replaced them. But it didn't get rid of the boilers, did it? So no, okay. Have I got any? How have I got pump jacks if I've not done fluid handling? Is that different then? It doesn't look like it's in there. Okay. Oh yes, I have done pump jacks. Because that gives you level 1, doesn't it? And then that's level 2. Okay. Okay. We'll have to do oil processing next. I wonder if I hadn't actually... Because that's not our... Trouble is, I'm obviously unsure. Yeah, because you get chemical processing before you have for oil for this. Okay. Cool. Ah, I have made some solar... Oops, some solar panels. Grinding. Silicon carbide. Grinding wheel. Oh, right. That's processing the gems. Interesting. Okay, so we've made some solar panels, and I don't think I've put any down, have I? So we could put some solar panels in. I wonder where you get... what would they be under? Oh, it's a bit off because we need batteries, don't we? Okay, let's head for them anyway. Cool, okay, I could put these in then. Sort of doesn't, I mean, if I've just got panels, ratio doesn't really matter, does it? But how about I sort of put some kind of solar field down here, out of the way? Okay, let's do that. Have I got power poles? I've got a tiny number of power poles. So I need some more power poles which are on the end here. He says, not quite sure. Yeah, there we go. Some of them. And then. So it does have the artisanal reskin mod on as well, so I don't know if that's fully accounting for any changes that were made. I would hope so, but... Oh, why does that not have any ore on it at all? Because it's all being eaten up. Right. So I could get one more in. Oh, of course it's going into the train. Okay, I guess that needs to back up really, doesn't it? Are you going to run out of coal? Nah. Wow, I don't need 3 stacks of coal, do I? Okay. Oh, this isn't even actually connected. Huh. Was I just going to add it in there? Why am I bringing the iron ore in? This is a problem with these big gaps between these. So we're running out of coal because we're running out of coal, basically. Or easily accessible coal. I could obviously get at least... well, I could get 1 more in, or 2 more. But yeah, these mixed patches would need more sorting out. I'm kind of willing to bother doing just yet. Oh, have I not even got any? I guess I could upgrade the drills as well. It's just Heath Robinson this around here. But because the drills are just quicker, aren't they? Because there's a special... Yeah, there's a large drill. I think these are just quicker. It doesn't have a larger area, does it? No, it doesn't. Okay. So we've put some more of them on, sort of in the middle. So we sort of put one on there. Then that will help saturate the line. I was going for accumulators, wasn't I? Which means sulphur for batteries. Cool. Okay, so that saturates the line. It's obviously just the lower grade. Yeah. So this would need to back up. Which is going to require the train to be full up, I think. Because that's not, you know, that's stuttering there, so it's not really using the 2 lanes. It's just that this isn't filled up yet. That's a hell of a lot of coal, really, isn't it? I'll pop that in there as well. Okay, I could upgrade this belt. Wrong belt. I meant to do the other one. We don't need that to be upgraded, really. We need this one to be upgraded, I think. So we can max out, or use those new mining drills. Twice the throughput. What was I going to do? I was going to put in a bunch of solar as well, which will actually help with the coal. So let's just pop that on there. let's go down to, I don't know, here. Yeah, I'll do. And then I'll just put in some power poles. So if I just 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Even them up a bit. Like that. That's a bit tidier, isn't it? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right, let's just make sure I definitely put 10 in. Yeah. Okay. I think we're a long way off bots, but oh, missed that off the end. There we go. I quite like the recolouring on this. It's quite subtle, but obviously it's the artisanal one. Was that all I picked up? I thought I picked up both stacks. Let's go and get the rest. So it will marginally decrease the coal demand. Having a bit more solar. A bit of solar. So what was I going to do with them? I mean, obviously smelt them, but where was I going to do that? So this was where I was going to do the sort of processing. In which case, why didn't I run the train line along there? Was this? Is this running out? 100. Yeah, okay, 148k. What's that got in it? 188. Okay. So not quite. I say, it would have made more sense to start this off. Oh, I can just alter it later on. Anyway, let's get these solar panels. Get them on. I don't know if that's really expensive. Oh, it is actually 150. Okay. Just wondering maybe if my science had fallen over. No. Could do with some more labs then. Because these aren't barely even running. Okay, let's do that next. No, that's labs, isn't it? So if we get 4 more of them built. Okay. Should be able to put another set in. Like that. So it's not a lot, but it will certainly help out. So we're at 20 meg peak. Yeah. 20 megawatts peak power, and that's, well, it was 3, so it's probably 6. Okay. Okay, I'm dropping out the iron ore off. So let's see if we can't sort of add it in somewhere. I'll put those labs in first though. I wonder why that's so uneven. Oh, because I'm doing something super crude, I guess. Yeah, they're fairly young. Oh! Oh! I hadn't actually even finished it. Okay. That's a lot of miners. I guess with it being relatively low priority, I was happy to leave that. It's sometimes weird second guessing yourself. That's the strangest part of these big gaps between doing these. Because I should get like the notepad one, but I'm terrible at using it. Yeah, the one where you can leave yourself little notes and put in action plans and stuff. But I'm just rubbish at actually doing it. Now, what was I even looking for? I was going to add on those labs. And some players, and I used to do it myself, you sort of write on the terrain. So you just sort of use walls and you sort of say, you know, sort of add. We can do it with ghosts, it's actually a little easier. But, you know, add 3. I don't know. Green. That's a double R. You get the idea. So you might say add 3 green circuits or something. I'll pick it all up now. So you can kind of do it a little easier with ghosts if you're trying to write yourself notes like that. Right. Okay, so that should speed up that science a little. Yeah, 6 make out the panels. Okay. Since I went to all this trouble, let's see if we can't work out a way of hooking the stuff in. So, perhaps if we sort of come over here, maybe. So I have one adding in there, like that. Set the priority on the local patch, I think. So, nope, that one there. Wait, was that input? No. Okay, so prefer the local material. And then, can I do the same here? Maybe if I do it like that. No, not there. And again, prioritize the local stuff. Random power pole. Can I make... I think that's the maximum length for them, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so let's put a little gap in there. And there. And there. Oh. Let's weave it round the copper. Like so. I got another series where I'm just trying to make some standardised blueprints for the... Do I want solid fuel first, or just... Yeah, go on. Because I never really made any before. Right. And I'm playing a multiplayer game where we're trying to embrace... Well, at the moment, the idea is to take it up to a mega base. Because at the moment we're sort of embracing spaghetti. So I need to balance these two really, don't I? As well. Did I get them hooked up okay? I think I did. Okay. Right, so that's the extra there. Obviously, this is basically dead. All these extra ones here. It's not actually using that much copper, but I'm only doing the half lane at the lowest level belt. Yeah, I think I'm happy to leave that. How are we doing with getting towards batteries? Baterias. Right. What do I need? I need plastic. Now, I assume I've either made pump jacks or I was about to. Let's have a look, see. Pump jacks are there. Cool. So I've got pump jacks. Now have I... Because you've got oil there and there and there. Which is presumably why I identified this as the chemical area. But I don't think I've made any, whatchamacallits, oil refineries. Let's have a look. Have we got that anywhere on here? So we've got chemical plants, but no oil refineries. No. Okay, so how do we make oil refineries? Is it just the standard recipe? Pretty much. It says basic boards. Now, are those basic boards or are they... Which is which? That's a... Yeah, basic electronic board is what we want, isn't it? Yeah. So I could probably slot it in here, in fact. Maybe that's what I was planning. Because then it's right next to the chemical stuff. Okay, let's see if we can fit it in. And get everything we need. So we have oil refinery. So we need steel. Well, we need everything, basically. Have I got stone brick? I have, okay. Okay. So, I don't think I need anything else there, do I? So we'll do that. Get to grab from there. So that's stone brick. Where are... Oh, circuits are at the top. Okay. Not circuits. So, I need steel. Huh. Okay, so if I do... No, it's going to need to be a yellow one. So that I can do that, and that. So, other way around, idiot. So we want circuits, we got them. You should grab from... Because you need both... Yeah, okay, and then... Wait. Oh, why have you picked up iron plate, idiot? There we go. Okay. So that'll chug away on some oil refineries. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if I grab 9 of these. not 10. Just learn to count. So that's refineries. I need... because we might as well bring it over by train. So I need a couple of locomotives, but I don't know. Did fluid handling give me... cut fluid wagons? No. Huh. Okay. How do we get... oh, it's a separate research. Which I think it is in base game, isn't it? But let's just do that one quickly then. Because I only need like one oil thing. Put it in this area here, so it's vaguely in the right place. Also gives us coal then for plastic. Do I want to put it there? I guess I could bring the... well, I guess it depends which way it needs to go, but we could train across between the two bases. I need to think about properly building the bus, because the idea was that I was going to build something of a bus sort of up that way. Oh, look, I think that's probably our first little colonisation there. I don't know if they're new or not. We're starting to get close to the walls, so I might have some combat action soon. But yeah, so I'll put those two onto a train there, I think, and sort of bring it round and down to here. And if I need the coal, because I'm going to run out of coal, you know, in the not too distant future anyway. Right, so if I'm trying to do that, I need more rail, don't I? Let's just grab 400. Still not done fluid wagon. We will need some tanks, which I won't be making. Storage tank and storage tank. All corners. Ah, okay. That's interesting. I wonder what one of them looks like then. I was just moaning about that the other day. Oh, that's fairly ugly, isn't it? Okay. Yeah, because I never really got why that and the things have these weird opposing corners thing. It's like unlike any other system in the game, basically. So that must have been storage, fluid wagons. So let's restart plastic. And let's see if we can build a fluid wagon. We can. We've got a tank. Let's build another all corners tank. We're going to need some pumps. We've got rail. I don't need signals because it's a two-way. I can bring coal over from that patch to fuel it. So I should grab some more belt. Oops. Where's the... there it is. Grab a bunch of belt. Do I have inserters? I've got some inserters. Okay. Let's get over here. Open the car. Oh, it looks like somebody's damaged the car. I wonder who that could have been. Some terrible driver, I'm sure. 3, 4, 5, 6. But yeah, I've been embracing the spaghetti in this multiplayer game, and it's been kind of liberating to a degree. It's very difficult to just not do my sort of standard ways of playing, my standard builds. So I've ended up just going with the flow on that and just building things how I've often built them with my 2 and then a gap, 2 and then a gap, 2 and then a gap style. What I like to do. Right. Vaguely like that. But more in terms of... can I just copy the other station? It's not really saving me a lot, is it? But oh boy. Yeah, more in terms of sort of... where do you want to put that? I guess if I put it here and then I can try and get through that gap in the trees. In terms of sort of the belts, really, you know, just throwing them down higgledy-piggledy and sort of diverting things from different places and that sort of thing. In fact, it probably didn't make a lot of sense, that, really, because if it's just a 1-1-1 train, it's not really going to look anything like the other one. Cool. Oh. Yeah, it's been quite fun throwing things together. There are we're playing with a couple of mods, but they're mostly like quality of life type tweaks. There's no, you know, it's not a Crash Story 2 or anything like that. Right. And then put that there. Oh, I should have grabbed pipe, shouldn't I? Okay, can we connect this? Like so. Oh, missed one. So straight line all of that. Move that so it's a bit more even. Cool. So we've got another... Oh, I didn't make enough pumps today. Oh, I could try these valves. I haven't used these yet. Let's put a valve in instead. Because it's to try and stop... I mean, it's basically trying to stop backflow of pipe, basically. Which is one of the things that makes the fluids inefficient, is that they're constantly trying to slosh about and even up. But for some reason they gave them a sort of a momentum system. Right. Batteries. What the heck is that? Fertilizer. Okay. I need to power everything up, don't I? Two, 4, 6. And then we should have 3 down here. Okay. So I didn't really ask you, but it means if you're still there, or as if you're not. If you're not, you wouldn't hear me saying that anyway. But anyway, I don't know if you've played Bob's before, or if you're a bit of a pro with it, or... I always like to ask people what their experience with Factorio is, because it's something that fascinates me. For some reason, I don't know why. You get some people that watch streams of Factorio but never don't actually play it, sort of thing. Just, I don't know if you call it ASMR or whatever, but I could double side that, couldn't I? But let's just take it here. So actually, the valves would probably be better on the actual thing. Where's it gone? There it is. So it'd be better if the valve was there, wouldn't it? And similarly. Oh, did I only make one? Okay. There you go. You say it's the sloshing backwards and forwards that's the real killer for fluids. Grenades. There's no problem. They can't be solved with high explosives. To there. Cool. Like that. Just trying to avoid that patch. Okay. In fact, would you go on the other side? No. And a radar. What else? Did I actually put turrets on the other one? I don't think I did I? No. Didn't bother. Right. I keep forgetting these have got grids. I don't know what would be useful in them. Okay. Let us rename that. Where's the oil symbol now? Oh. That's wrong, isn't it? That's not the right symbol. Would it be here? No, because that's Bob's fluids. There we go. Crude oil. Okay, so these guys need a bit of coal. We have a coal patch up over here. So I think maybe if we drop off, because we're going to need coal for, well, I assume we're going to need coal for plastic. I don't think that's changed. So maybe I could actually go through there. Let's see, let's see. Well, what it makes, it would make sense, but it also wouldn't make sense. I was going to say, I could put in a coal train, because we're going to need coal up there. So maybe I could just put... What are you doing? So I put a sort of... the blow-in auto rail thing is just rubbish. Brilliant, the Factorio devs, but whoever did that needs shooting. Okay. See, why is it jittering about like that? Okay. So I think if I build the rail down there. Missed. I missed. Okay. And then, oops, have it go down to, I don't know, there maybe? So this then is the oil drop off, and then maybe if we have another, like a coal train. Not to be confused with the sadly departed Robbie coal train. See what? Why are you doing that? Go straight. Go straight. Because I could have like a double station one, or the train could just go back and forth, couldn't it? Because we're not going to need a lot of coal at either station. Anyway, what do we want to research next? Should I leave it? No, let's get accumulators started. Even though it'll be a while before we make any. But yeah, I'm thinking it comes up here, and I sort of load on coal and like unload it at both ends. Would that be a good place? It probably needs to be there, doesn't it? Let's see if we can go and make that coal work. What would this need to look like? I think it needs to be a bit further over so I can balance it, probably. Right. Got to be well balanced. Okay. Why did I not ghost those in? It's better. And great. Okay. So 2 3 and sort of a naff half one. If I was to move it up by 1, 2. Yeah, I could move them all up by 2. So there. And then we get on there. It's 2 there. 3 there. Still a bit of an F half one, but at least it's a bit better than it was before. Okay. Like that. Yeah, okay. So we then got 4 lanes coming down this way. Did I ever grab mine? I don't think I did I? Oh, let's just put one in. So I need a bit of space. Like that. It's as close as we can put the balancer. Okay. But am I doing it into 4? No, but let's leave enough room for when and if I need to. So this does need to be further over. Now this one I should be able to copy. Yeah. Yeah. So, if that was to be loading on there, I would need it to be there, wouldn't I? Because I'm thinking a 1-2-1 train, and it just goes sort of back and forth between the 3 stations. So I don't need this balancer, but have it there for when, you know, if and when we need 4 lanes of magic. Okay. I have to get clever with the scheduling, but that's okay. Yeah, okay. So it's quite fun building like this. It's terribly inefficient, and at some point I'll end up tearing it down and, you know, doing standardised builds probably. But so I always very much enjoyed this part of the game. I guess the problem with it is it's not quick. Is that where we want the stations to be? Yeah, go on. Right, so we need 2 stations. I don't have the supplies for a normal train, do I? Did I end up with... I didn't. Yeah, so I sort of... Last night was a bit of a damp squib. It was a bit of quite a shame really, because kind of my first sort of return to... Because I used to live... Where I live now, I used to live... For years, I lived sort of close to here. And this was kind of my first sort of social, you know, thing really, since coming back. Like a proper one, as it were. And to cancel it, so... Because it wasn't just me, there was someone, you know... Oh, what have I done there? There's a few of us meeting up, but... From the old days, from the old country, from the old days. Drop off. So yeah, a little bit of a shame, but you know, these things happen. So, full. Bing bong bing. Let's get lube. And empty. Okay. Let's go to drop off. Let's put you on manual so you don't kill me. We will Let's unload it that way. Okay. Do I not? Oh no. I thought, unless I have and I just not made any. No, only at heavy. Okay. I thought we were at modular, but I don't think I could make any anyway, could I? Right, so need to put some lights on it. In fact, let's do that there and that there. Okay. Now this will be a coal train. And we want most of its products going that way. Like so. But we also want me, a tiny amount of coal. How do I want to do that? Tempted just to leave it for a while, but probably better to get some military tech done, since there's a few biters kind of starting to think about encroaching. So if I just sort of do a, because this is just to fuel the 2 trains, so if we maybe wait, that's in the wrong position, isn't it? That needs to be there. Is that going to work? In fact, if I just feed that in, because yeah, they're on opposite sides. Okay, now I have one going that way. Why am I using steel rather than wooden? Cool. And then the other I'm trying to get even draw rather than sort of but if I bring that round, that'll be fine, I think. Yeah, because the balancer will even it out. Of course, I have to put the inserters the right way around. Oops. No. 3 in them. That'll do. It'll sort itself out. Okay. We got fluids coming out of there, and we can take them off and do whatever we want with them. Okay. I did the... What's that point? I was going to buy... I had the winter... I sort of missed... Steam stopped doing special events for their sales. I think it was after... There was one year where they basically made a complete hash of it. There was an event they did where people could basically join certain teams, and the teams are sort of named after animals, so like like dogs and stuff. And then there were like rewards. And the problem was that people didn't join the teams evenly, which was kind of obvious when you think about it, because some of the animals were, you know, sort of, well, like dogs or whatever. It's cuter, isn't it? And so a lot of people joined Team Dog. I can't actually remember that. I seem to remember one was Sloth, and I think that's what I joined. But there were very uneven numbers, and it was like these things where you did like, because they used to do a lot of clicker games as part of their events, so you would, you know, have to participate in a clicking game or something like that, or, you know, some fun little silly mini game basically. And so the problem was that the rewards were then lined up with, like, effectively the number of people that had joined the different games. And so because that was uneven, some of the teams couldn't get, you know, it's like, I guess they want, you know, some element of competition was fine, but the trouble was it was massively stacked against particular teams. And I think that they felt a bit burnt after that, because I mean, they did fix it, or try to fix it. They didn't properly fix it, because those of us in the non-popular teams didn't get as many rewards. So I've not actually set up military science, have I? No, I haven't. We could do flammables though. And yeah, so I think they felt a bit, you know, bit burnt from that experience. Where would I want the coal coming in? I guess probably align something around there. So actually I probably want it here, don't I? And so they don't do them anymore. They actually place them, there's like a steam points thing now. And I don't know of anyone who actually like keeps track, because it's like how you're meant to buy the what do you call them? Smiley faces, emoticons. I'm at a railway now, crikey. And so I don't think I know anybody who actually really uses it or even knows how many points there are. You get them just from normal buying. There's nothing special about them at all. They still do sort of stickers and things like that, like badges and all that sort of stuff. Or you get points for by voting in the Steam Awards and all that sort of stuff. But there's nothing particularly interesting about it as such. And so I kind of miss the special events, but understand why they stopped doing them. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, they also do the Steam recap, and obviously Factorio is rather dominant in my stats. It's 56% of all my playtime. Is it 56, 53, 56 or 53, something like that. More than half, anyway. which isn't really surprising, I suppose. I mean, I stream it, you know, at least 6 hours a week, so not that surprising. But yeah, it was a bit stark seeing that. It was a bit sort of wow. And that's this year. I've been quite careful to play because I have Game Pass, and I've been quite careful to actually play some Game Pass games to make that value for money. Yeah, it's no point having, you know, paying whatever it is, 12 quid a month, and then, which works out to be about, you know, 75, 80 quid a year. So that's sort of, I guess, 2 AAA games would cover it. But I mostly play indies, which are then, you know, sort of half that price. So I wanted to try and complete at least 3 indie games to make it sort of value for money. All these different materials. I didn't know there was half of this stuff in. Lithium as well, crikey. Hydrazine, that must be for rocket fuel, is it? Yeah, cool. Vehicle solar panel. Can I not get... Oh, I need military science, don't I? Let's do lab research speed. Now, what was I after? Rail stuff, wasn't it? So, a couple of them. Couple of them. I can take some of those now. Don't need signals because it's all one way. Oh, unidirectional. I mean, I need a lot of belt so I can do the mining. It's relatively low priority. Ah, basic circuit. Oh, huh. I wonder if that's been changed because it didn't used to be basic circuit boards, which is why it's up here. Because this is where I stopped basic circuit boards. So it looks like that recipe might have changed. That's a little bit annoying. Can I slot it in here somewhere? Because I've still got these. So could I convert this? Am I just going to move away from... Why have I still got that? Because that's the that's splitters there. Oh, I was putting it in a box, wasn't I? Because the other option is to specially divert something up here. I'm not sure how I would fit it in. Bum. Okay, I'll think about that one later. Right, so I've got a bit of rail. Have I got enough rail? Yeah, it's just this bit on the end. And it doesn't matter anyway. Have I got somewhere making steel chests, or am I just hand making them each time? think I might be just hand making them. Yeah. Okay. Let's put something in to make steel chests then. Oh, I need lots of inserters, don't I? Where are inserters? Down here. Okay. A chest of chests. The inception chests. Okay. Where is steel? Down the bottom there. Okay. Cool. Okay. Might actually boost that up to a fast one. Got the actual train. Yeah, okay. In fact, I might as well put the actual stops in. Gonna do another? Yeah. Okay. In fact, am I going to need another? No. Cool. Right. So I'm going to call it Satan. Blimey. Gets around that lad, doesn't he? Good old Stan. Right, so if we call this maybe drop off main. Oh, bum. Drop off main. And then hop in there. I have to remember to set this. I usually do full or empty. I have to remember to set this to inactive, because it would take ages if try and actually unload them. But this is pick up. Yeah. And then all the way at the end. Oh. Somebody left a ghost train on the tracks. No. Idiot. Like that. So this can we drop off oil. Okay. So I need it to go to pick up, but not yet. So if we have it go to drop off. I may need 2 stations here, but No, I could just do it round in 3. And then it goes to drop off oil, then it goes to pick up. Will that work? No, because it can't go that way. So it would need to go to pick up first. So it can go that way. In fact, let's just cycle it through that, so with no condition, so that it doesn't stop. Because the wood should be... Oh no, I've got 50 as well. I could chop some trees anyway, but... So it can go to this one. And then it's happy to go to pick up. This is that thing that, you know, stations can only be on the right hand side, so you have to get your sequence right. Oh, now it's going to oil, is it? Yeah. Maybe because there's no condition. I'll put the inactivity one on. In fact, it's only 5 seconds, isn't it? So it should be okay to go to pick up now. Yeah, there we go. I think just past, because there was no condition, it didn't actually stop. There we go. Right, let's pop it on menu. Okay. Okay. Why do you not have power? Oh, because the mediums. The mediums. Right. Okay. Did I limit the chests up here? Maybe? I didn't limit them, did I? Or if I did, I set it very high. Oh yeah, I did. Okay. Right, so let's get some coal actually flowing. I didn't pick up any miners, did I? Okay. Oh well. You're running? Yep. Okay, condition here needs to be full anyway. And that needs to be an and. So you've done nothing and you are also full. But on these ones it's if you're empty. But also you've sat there doing nothing for 5 seconds. Do I want to drop that to 1? Oh, it didn't take. Oh, weird. Okay. Okay. Right, let's head back to the main base. And I can pick up more miners and stuff. Do I need splitters? I've got 22, so... Put one manual. Can I do a third one? No, I need blue. Right. What would be... I guess we can do some of these material ones. No idea there was this much stuff in it. I mean, you know, people say Bob's is complicated, and obviously Bob's and Angels even more so. But I didn't know it added quite so many new resources and materials and all that. So I've got 2 lanes there. I'm just going to blend them together at the moment. No, it's just half. We're going to do it like that? Yeah. No, I don't like that. Let's balance it. Let's do it properly. If we're going to do it at all, let's do it properly. No. Okay, so we need all sorts of stuff. So let's go and get all sorts of stuff. I kind of figure by, you know, doing them, I can at least look at what the recipes are and what I would need to do to make the things. Yeah, I think I need to convert this into a underground one. And then maybe have these go into a box or something. I don't know. Right. Don't need any rail. Not making any splitters. Don't need any wagons. I guess I could... Oh, I've already gone. Let's top the granatas up. Here we go. Box of boxes. I got one of them? Yeah, I got them. Wagons and stations and all the magical things. Processing. Let's get some lights. Hit the lights. This is what we're after though. In fact, I should boost that up to 2. All of them. Let's grab some more inserters. In fact, let's grab some. Don't know how many I've made there. Just spam that button. Undergrounds. Yeah, we'll have to convert that into splitters, but for now, let's see if we can't. See, why are you uneven? Because that's half full. Mr. Splitter. So it's not filled the box. In fact, are these boxes full? Oh dear, that's a bad idea. That's a bad idea. pipes, if they're that full, it takes ages for them to empty. And if you can't just leave them to empty, and you've got to like manually empty it all, it's an absolute pain in the bum. Right. Okay. They all worked, I think. First stage in the stream. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm glad my voice is sufficiently soothing for you to fall asleep, but I'm sorry it's not sufficiently exciting to keep you awake. I'm not fussed with it, whatever works for you. Right, so we go back to the pickup then, and I'll add these extra things in. So I'll be honest, I'm not. I do this because it's fun, but I'm hardly the. I'd never claim to be one of these streamers who's all exciting and shouts a lot or anything like that. Not least of all because I personally find them a bit annoying, but so the talking is mostly me just chuntering away to myself, giving particularly valuable commentary, I would say. Right, so I only grabbed a stack, didn't I? So bing bong bing. Cobalt as well. Wonder if that's all the basic ones done. 20. Okay, I might be able to fill this out fully then. No? Couple short? Yeah, couple short. So can I make 6 more? No. Why not? Oh, because they need basic boards, okay. Well, that's annoying. Actually, don't shout, it hurts my ears. Doctors say I have sensitive ears. Oh, right, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm afraid I'm kind of going the opposite way. I'm a bit sort of deaf, in all honesty. I struggle sometimes to hear. Particularly, well, my sister seems to have very sensitive hearing as well, and it's where I always visit her at Christmas, but now that I live a bit closer, I'm hoping to visit more often so I can see my nephew in particular. But when we watch films right there, I just sort of assume that I'm just gonna, if it's a film I'm interested in, that I'll have to watch it later, myself, basically, on streaming or whatever, because she can't have the volume very loud, because she always complains that it's hurts her ears, hurts her hearing, and I can barely hear it a lot of the time. It's sort of like, yeah. So I think I might be going a bit deaf, to be honest with you. Okay, so this is feeding itself back in, and feeding you. Okay. In which case, can we activate you? What am I working on right now? So I'm still working. Oh, that's a very pretty blue colour. Cobalt steel. I'm working on oil basically, but as part of that, I've put the coal in. I didn't actually check whether plastics definitely use coal. No, they don't. So that was idiotic, wasn't it? Should have checked that. Yeah, I'm working on oil, but I've made an assumption that plastic would again use coal, and it doesn't. Is how do I produce chlorine then? Is coal used in any of the oil recipes? Maybe it's used in sulphur or something? No. In fact, it's not even solids. Crikey. I've just ploughed on in the assumption that it would be the same, but it is not the same. Oh. Oh. Oh, it's not too bad, because obviously, this gives me a way to fuel this train, but that's a bit of a waste. In fact, if it's not going to use coal at all, let's just set these to 0. And then it won't attempt to unload. And I'll have to check to see if I need it for chlorine or anything like that. That was done, wasn't it? Let's see if we can't get it into the other system now. That definitely doesn't sound so good. No, I mean, it's kind of inevitable when you get older. You're going to lose some of your hearing. I don't think I'm that bad, but I say it's definitely, it's definitely going because I say I often struggle as well to hear, if it's like a loud room and stuff like that. But or it doesn't, it's not a major thing. It's just to say it's sort of become apparent that cool. Well, that's all working. See if the train will come back. I don't know how much this tank holds, these big ones. I don't know if it's the same as... Oh, it looks like it's yeah, okay. So it's not going to come back. It's basically a train's worth in a tank. So we will hop on. Wait, my car's there. Nuts. I thought I picked it up. Oh well. Oh well. Yeah, let's clear all this off. Right. Okay. That's not on auto, is it? Except I don't want it to do empty then, do I really? Because it wouldn't empty unless I need it to empty. I guess it's an OR condition, so it sort of doesn't matter. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Oh, what's the blue thing I have on my hand? So, another thing that's gone wrong with me. It's basically, I have carpal tunnel. So, there's, I don't know if you, basically there's a tendon that goes, your carpal tunnel is basically like, it's literally a tunnel in the bone. So it's literally a hole in the bone. Oh, well, I mean, several bones, I think, that are, connected or fused or whatever, but there's like a hole in the bone, and that's where a tendon goes through. And that tendon controls your... I'm not sure which it controls. I think it's just the thumb. But basically it goes through this hole. And what happens is, through repetitive strain injury, so excessive use of your fingers, it causes it to basically flare up. Sort of, expand, essentially. It's like a repetitive use injury, like tennis elbow or something like that. And yeah, so it sort of expands basically, and the carpal tunnel means that you can't go anywhere, so it sort of rubs on the nerve. I'm not explaining that very well, but basically carpal tunnel is like a repetitive injury. So when I stream, I also use, so I'm actually using, I'm not sure if that's in shot, might be in shot. This is a vertical mouse, so obviously a normal mouse is that way round. Put it over my head, and you would use it like that. But this is a vertical mouse, and it's sideways essentially, because the strain from using a mouse in particular, and that's where I get, because I don't really get it on my left hand, and it really is the right hand, and it's a lot to do with, I work with on computers, and it's actually a little bit so your hand naturally lays like that, so in the sort of sideways position, and obviously when you're using a mouse or whatever, and a keyboard, you're twisting it, so it's under continuous tension, the tendon basically. And I say, because I tend to play, I actually got it from gaming essentially, because I would just play for hours and hours and hours. In fact, you could argue this game gave it to me, because it kind of developed when I was doing that. So if you have a vertical mouse, it doesn't put as much tension on that tendon basically. But also by strapping it up, you can get ones with like metal bars on, and they stop you bending your wrist at all. But I actually find they dig into my palm, and it's actually quite painful. But by putting tension on, by sort of strapping it up, it stops the movement of the tendon basically. It does tend to get the disadvantage to all of these straps and devices is you tend to get a bit sweaty underneath, so you can put them in the washing machine basically. So I have like 4 of them in total, so that I can wash them while I'm using the other ones. So you sometimes see they're some of them are, this one's not in too bad a condition, but some of them are a bit beaten up where I've washed them a load of times. But yeah, it's basically to try and oh, what was that other recipe? Sour gas. Okay. Product sour gas. The heck is sour gas? Huh. What am I trying to make here, I guess, is the real question. A brass chest. Because basically I need to do military science, and I can just do that from what I've got. But I'll also need to do blue science, which I assume, and again I've been making the assumption, but I assume that blue science, chemical science, I haven't even got it listed, have I? In fact, I haven't even researched it. So I need advanced electronics, so we need to do that. But I'm assuming some sort of oil product, even if it's not the same, will be required to make blue science. But there you go. So it needs sulphur and electronic circuit boards, which require a phenolic board. Wow, they're quite complicated, aren't they? A phenolic board is made from resin and wood. And ferric chloride solution. Okay. Transistors. Blimey. So this is clearly where it's starting to go. Bob's goes a bit nuts. Because that's quite a production chain just to make blue circuit boards. Blue chips, rather. But anyway, sulphur is an oil product, so we need it. Sodium hydroxide. Where might I get that? Sodium. Ah, is it not called? Oh, it would be sodium hydroxide. Is that some sodium chlorate? Brian. Huh. Where? So there's not a sodium research then. I guess this is where people use Helmod on stuff, isn't it? To look at the recipes. I like that this has got the different, because these look accurate to me. Hydrogen, sulphur dioxide. Was it sodium chloride? So it doesn't look like I've got it yet. Okay, let's do that again because I got lost. I'd hate to have a carpal tunnel. Sorry, it's not too bad. My dad, I'll be honest. There's also it's a strain injury because I do the job sort of thing and that sort of thing. But my dad had or has the same thing, carpal tunnel. He's got it in both hands and it was really bad. He actually had operation on both of them. Basically, that tunnel I was talking about, they come in and they snip the top of the tunnel off, so then the tendon has got somewhere to go, and it's been quite effective. It unfortunately it tends to I don't know about damage the nerve, but essentially he has tingling in the end of his fingers because the nerve is it's damaged and it takes years to repair itself. But yeah, it's way better. He used to wake up in the middle of the night with severe pain in his his hands and his fingers and stuff. So it can get really bad. So I'm hoping I don't get it that bad, but also suggest there's sort of genetic component to it. I guess some people's carpal tunnels must be smaller than others. I guess. What are you? You're hydrazine, of course. I'm wondering if I am going to have install Helmod so I can look up some of this stuff. Look at all these modules. Blimey. Anyway, I was getting lost. So I was trying to work out what I needed for chemical sciences. And you need sodium hydroxide. Okay. And I have not got the recipe for sodium hydroxide. Okay. But it must be one of the feeder texts for chemical science. How do you pronounce your Twitch username? So it's Trismegistus is the Twitch username. I tend to do so because it is difficult to say. I have aliased. I've been debating whether to change it on Twitch, but on YouTube and Twitter and all that, I've changed the name to Triggles because that's obviously easier to say, and a bit well, not distinctive. I mean, Trismegistus is pretty distinctive, but it's a misspell. So it's like a misspelling. It's actually I mean, it's like the Greek. So Hermes Trismegistus. It's basically like a name for Hermes, the god. I won't go into it, but it's like an alchemical thing. It's quite cool if you look it up. But it's spelt Trismegistus, M-E. That's, you know, because of how you pronounce it in Greek. But so it is a sort of misspelling of it. But yeah, Trismegistus would be the proper way, but Triggles is what I tend to go by. So the only one I'm getting there is advanced plastics, and that doesn't appear to give me sodium hydroxide. Ah, no, there's another branch there. Let's read. Oops. What happened there? Yeah, let's just keep going with that. Oh, how do I make resin? Yeah, blue is going to be complex, isn't it? Blue chips. Can I make the other? I mean, I can make engines, can't I? And sulphur is what we're doing. So I'm losing track here. But basic point is I need to make sulphur. Fluid burning. I get distracted. So I need to make sulphur. How do I make sulphur? I make sulphur either with sulphur dioxide or hydrogen sulfide. Hydrogen, okay. And both are made in either of the chemical plants. So it feels like I'm going to have to get Hellmod on. I'm not actually a big fan of that, but it is a way of getting it. Recipes in an easier way. So we would either need to make sulphur. Hang on again. So sulphur dioxide and hydrogen. So what do I actually do with this basic oil? Sour gas. Is there no recipe? Ah, no. We can make solid fuel out of it. But is there no recipe for splitting sour gas into... Because that looks like it's got, what should we call it? Hydrogen sulfide. The other recipe also just gives me sour gas. Oh. I've got to keep at Trismegistus. Yeah, so I really like the name, but it causes people... Basically, people ask the same question of how do you pronounce it. And it's sort of distinctive, but it's like if people don't know how to say it, it sort of almost defeats the point. Hermes from ancient Greek, yeah. Hermes, the greatest classical Latin, but yeah. Legionary Hill, yeah, that's the one. I assume you got that from Wikipedia or Google. Yeah, the Hermetic. So what I was going to do, you see, is that Hermetica. So there's like the Hermetic writings, alchemical, and I was going to try and theme all of my, like. What do you call them? The Twitch emoticons and that sort of thing, by getting like little alchemical symbols and things like that. I thought that would be quite cool. But unfortunately, I've not had the time or kind of the because I don't have the artistic skill to do all that. I mean, the alchemical symbols would probably be easier, but I'd have to look them all up and research it and all that sort of stuff. I think I'm going to have to... I wonder if... I can just look that up. But yeah, so I had all those cool ideas and then I've never really acted on them. And the name actually came from... I didn't know all of that. I didn't know what Trismegistus was. But I used to be a big fan of... apparently you can use sour gas directly in... sour gas. FNEI, that's the other one as well. Okay, so if I look at that... okay, so that does give me that, but that didn't appear to be a recipe option. Oh, it means from oh, okay. So just a dumbness on my part. Set that back. Yep, wiki. Yeah, so I didn't know that. So there was an author, or there is an author, unless he's gone. He was quite old. Called Robert Rankin. He does like comedy, sci-fi. Stories basically, and there was something called the Train of Trismegistus in it. And when I first sort of came to the internet back when forums were a thing, I needed a username, and I just read the book where that's featured. Or that, that's one of the things in it. It's not a character. It is like it's a train, literally a train. And so I thought, oh, Trismegistus, that's cool. But it was spelled properly. Huh? Does that not connect? Huh, weird. It was spelled properly in the book, but I didn't refer to the book when I. It's weird that disconnects that. When I did it, when I create my username, and I misspelt it because when I was reading it, it's one of those things where you're like, you've never heard it said, so you sort of guess at how it's pronounced, and I obviously did that, and to me it was, it must have been pronounced Trismegistus in my head, sort of thing. And so I spelt it basically phonetically. Of course, it was then misspelled. Well, it has the advantage because there is actually a role-playing game called, Trismegistus, and it's, as I understand it, it is a sort of alchemical, system in it. But yeah, it sort of then has the advantage that it distinguishes me from anything like that. Okay. But yeah, I still maintain I think it's cool, but I say if you've got a username that people struggle to pronounce or remember, then that's kind of defeats the point basically. Right, I've run out of pipe and I've run out of the bits for pipe. Okay, well done me on that. Let's go and see if we can find my car. Why is there no train? That feels like a problem. No, it's just a time issue. I guess it tried to empty everything here. No. Just slow, I guess. Yep. Actually, I guess the pronunciation right way has to make sure. Oh, cool. Yeah, I mean, it is. It's phonetic, right? You know, you pronounce it almost basically how it's spelled. There's no tricks to it, I guess. But it's more the, you know, sort of structurally the word is a bit weird, if that makes sense. I'm guessing, I say a Greek person would probably just instantly know, sort of thing, but. And I guess instantly recognise that I'd misspelt it. But yeah, so I think it would make quite a cool sort of set of emoticon icons, that type of thing, and branding. I was quite a big fan of the Full Metal Alchemist anime when that was a thing. And I always remember that had alchemical symbols in it and stuff. Quite cool alchemy. Well, I mean, it's not a real thing. Obviously, it didn't work, but it's like Isaac Newton was an alchemist. Let's see if we can change or add in, because I kind of just realised why this is, because this is the underground, so I couldn't take this out without getting rid of undergrounds, which is not what I would want. So we can't not have splitters being made. So I'm actually wondering, is there some way, because I can put a bigger power pole in and cover that, and I can convert maybe that one, or put something in there maybe? Okay. So if I was to maybe move that, does that not reach? That's unfortunate, isn't it? Okay. On there maybe? No. Trying to power that. No. There. Get one in there. Okay. Oh, that's only one tile, isn't it? Can I make... I can... But I need steel gear wheels. Am I making steel gear wheels just as a random thing? Because those are iron. I'm not, am I? Okay. Let's just have a think, because I don't think I can handcraft. Oh, I can. I just don't have any steel plate on me. Okay. What was I going to do there? I was going to make a fast underground to give me the extra reach. To bring it across there. So that I can split it off here. I'm going to need another one then, aren't I? Is that long enough? Yeah, that's long enough. But would this be long enough? Yes. In fact, I think these are longer, aren't they? In bobs. Put that on there. And then need to arrange this so that... No, that's wrong, isn't it? So it needs to be... In fact, let's put it around the corner. So I can do... No. What am I trying to do? Because that gives me the... In fact, I was right the first time. There we go. Got there in the end. Put that up there. Yay! Yeah, it's definitely a recipe change because they were fine before. I say that's why it's up there rather than with the other ones. Either that or I made that mistake way ages ago. And didn't realise. Both are equally valid possibilities. Right. Where had I got to? I'd gotten to pipes. I'll have a think about FNEI. I kind of wanted to play this pure. I don't know why. I guess it's that thing of if you've got a crutch, then you're just going to rely on the crutch rather than actually sort of learning the recipes. I'd just be looking them up all the time. I mean, I'm looking them up already, but it's a different thing. You can go straight to it rather than sort of have to work it all out. That's my justification and I'm sticking with it. Okay. Oh, I should put some more solar panels in. Can I squeak down here? Okay. I'm just sticking with the basic recipe to get this going, but obviously I'm going to need lube and stuff, so hooking it up so that I can get the other two as well. We need some lights. And we need some power. Let's bring that over from the trains. If you fell asleep, but beans, then I'm guessing you didn't hear the question. But I was asking earlier on what level of experience you got with the game, whether you're sort of a Bob's master and you've done all of the expansions, or you're new to Factorio. I'm assuming you've probably played it from some of the things you said, but maybe not. Why are you not doing anything? Ah, because I didn't hook the pipe up. Oop. I was asleep, but I didn't hear the question. I've played the game. Cool. So I asked because it's sort of fascinating to me, you know, because I've had some viewers who've, you know, they just like watching it. They've not actually played the game, and others, as say, are sort of, you know, like busy mastering sort of SpaceX and things like that, and it's always sort of interesting. What do I actually want to do here? I guess what? Because I've got vents in this, haven't I? I can just spew pollution instead of being a... Oh no, because I did that over here, didn't I? Oh yeah, the symbol is different now. They're in here somewhere, aren't they? No. Overflow. If it was more than it, no, that's not what I'm after. That's not what I'm after. It's got to be in here, isn't it? There we go. Gas venting pump. There we go. Not that I can make any, because for some reason I haven't got a single iron plate. Okay. Let's just take this over here, and I can actually do something vaguely useful, like make some sulphur. Do I want to use tanks at all? Yeah, go on then. Okay. Now, sour gas. There we go. And that gives me petroleum and hydrogen sulfide. And hydrogen sulfide I can deconstruct into sulfur. Yeah. With oxygen, which I can just vent. Oh no, I got to make oxygen. Oh, okay. Huh. Hydrogen. Oh, I see, because what? Oh, right, okay. Ah, that's interesting. So, it's taking basically hydrogen, oxygen, and sulfur, but it's doing so in the form of hydrogen sulfide and oxygen. So, there's presumably water as a byproduct, but it's just not bothering to show it. Interesting. Okay. What we got on ratios? So we'd need 4 more of the sour just to feed one of these. Okay. In theory, if these were running properly, yeah, then we are producing more. Can I just put these on? I think I can, can't I? $421.7 hours on Factorio. I've never heard of Bob's. I got to go by. Oh, no problem. Thanks for joining me. It's always great to have someone chatting along. And thanks for the follow. It's very much appreciated. I'll be back tomorrow, probably later. No, about the same time, sort of 3 o'clock clockish. But I'll be playing one of my other series, which will be I don't know. I suspect probably the Blueprint series, but I'm also doing a series I'm calling Aesthetic Factorio, where I'm trying to build attractive looking factories. Why have I done that? So I might do that one, but I say it'd probably be the blueprint series. I'm trying to make some standardised blueprints for myself. Because I need the opportunity to completely forget what I'm doing in Bob's. Because that's how I've decided to play the game. But yeah, have a good day, a good rest of your day. On the matter and get some power. Oh, that's a funky colour. Right. Put them in so I don't get them wrong. Oops, and then he gets them wrong, obviously. Standard. Oh, no. Alright, we might get some pollution then. Oh, I'm out of undergrounds. And I don't have any nuts. Okay. Don't have any iron plate. It's got to 6. Right. Righty-ho. I think I'm going to grab some iron plate. And then put that glass in this dump chest. Oh, I had some steel gear. Where's there? Get rid of these stone bricks. Okay. Have we made any splitters? Yes, there we go. 4 stack of splitters. Lovely. Lovely. What do I want? I guess I want some power poles. And lots more underground belt. Which is where? Over here. Over here. Oh, look, I'm making resin there. From wood, okay. Right. Okay. Where's my car? Oh, it's down there. Oh. Helps if I avoid shooting my machines. Okay, so we got hydrogen sulfide now. We've also got petroleum. I've got to find a use for petroleum, I guess, then, haven't I? So petroleum is used in plastic, but we now need chlorine. We have hydrogen chloride. We don't have chlorine listed there. It must be just... No? Is it an electrolyzer one? Or distillery one, maybe? No. Where are the electrolyzers? Because that's a chemical plant. Distillery electrolyzer. Oh, there's your sodium hydroxide. Okay. All right, you use electrolysis from an aluminium plate. Okay. Right. So saltwater electrolysis gets me multiple things that I need. Because it gets me the chlorine, the sodium hydroxide. I didn't do the blue science today. Sodium hydroxide is a direct feed-in along with sulphur. So this gets me the chlorine for what? Oh, plastic I was thinking about, wasn't I? Because I need another use for petroleum. I say I don't mind venting the stuff for the time being, but so if we do say what first? Let's set up. I'm building in this direction like a complete idiot. How about we take it down on the other side? Bing bong bing. Okay, that's chemical science done. I think I'm going to leave... Oh, there's gold. I might do that one as well, but... Nitroglycerin, cool. Yeah, and build that way. So I'm not going to crash into the water. I'm going to put them... Yeah, okay. Yeah. So, I put this, say, here. And kind of take it that way. Yeah. Okay. And then I need to do what? I need to also feed it. Other way around. I need to process this into sulphur. And I need to give it oxygen. And I get oxygen by electrolyzing water. Because that actually needs to be there, say. Because I need to feed it that, but also that. So somewhere over here, say. to electrolyze water, I think. Yeah, but I need to feed it pure water, which is made in the distillery. So I need to bring some water in. Oh, that's gold. So, oh, titanium. It's titanium as well. Crikey. Oh, and what's that? Tungsten. Okay. I can't do them because they're blue. I thought we might be finally at the point of doing all of the materials, but no. Okay, we'll leave all of that though. So I need water. So let's get some water. Oh, it's offshore pump because isn't it? Oh, yeah. I gotta get some better headphones. These squish my. Well, I need some glass. I need a new prescription on my glasses. Need some new glasses. So I'm getting headaches and stuff. So it's clearly about time. So that may be the solution, but. Is that sensible? I don't know how many each one feeds. It goes a bit weird with fluids. The max rate mod. So it's saying 0.85 net, I think. Means that this will only feed sort of 1.5 of these. So I clearly need a bank of them if I'm going to do multiple machines at some point. Which is a little bit annoying, but there you go. I should really do a fluid bus, but I'll just kind of leave that for later, I think. How big are they? They're quite small, aren't they? Can I get 3? Oh, I can. Okay, so that gives the electrolyzer that, and it has then oxygen as one of its outputs. Gonna run out of pipe again, aren't I? I might just feed that directly across. Fingers crossed we don't need it for something else. But this is the thingamagas. And so out of here, but I need to get rid of the. I think I need it for one of the other recipes, don't I? But I can't remember what that symbol was. It's like a blue square. Was that it? There you go. So just vent this, you know, to get it running. we could well need it for something else. Oops. Wait, have I not built them even? I haven't, have I? Idiot. Let's put you there then. And then that's one too far away. Brilliant. There you go. Oops. Okay, let's get some lights on the situation. That's too far away again. So X of those, I don't know how many, but we shall see. So it gives it oxygen. It's making... No, it isn't, because it's not got hydrogen sulfide, because it's not properly filled in. So has this made a sulphurs? It's made a sulphurs. Excellent. Excellent. Let's just pop another one in. Set that to near side. Do that there. And you're not working, why not? Because you've not got that. Because this is now paused because it's full of petroleum. Okay. These are soluble problems. So, can I just vent petroleum, or does it count as a liquid? So if I do that, well, it'll just spew that out. Okay. So I could use the overflow thingy, couldn't I? Okay, but the point is, we've now got I might actually, if I just run it for a bit, spewing the contents out onto the floor, like a environmentally sound business. Just to get this one running, just to make sure I haven't messed that up, because I'm a bit puzzled why it's not doing anything. Oh, I guess because that's not full, so it's using up all of the sulphide. Yeah, because the venti things are quite slow. Recipe pollution 3,500%. There you go. Okay. So they're both hooked up okay. Right, so now we need to make something else, plastic. And so now we need chlorine. So if we're making plastic, we've got petroleum gas. So that's great and wonderful. I don't know why I keep putting these too far apart. Okay. 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 Chlorine. I did work all this out, and now I've completely forgotten. So it's made from hydrogen chloride. No, it isn't. Yes, it is. Okay. Is it an electrolyzer one? Oh yeah, we need to electrolyse salt water, don't we? But then we need to make salt water. Because that gets me hydrogen as well. Which is what I'm just venting now. Nope, wrong one. But the what? Oh, the sodium hydroxide. Okay. They look very similar. I thought you were putting salt in and getting salt out, but it's sodium hydroxide. Hydrogen and chlorine. Okay. So what? So that would be the sodium hydroxide. And then we need to put let's do that. So this is the chlorine. How can I squeeze that in? If I put it there. Oh, I've put that up wrong, haven't I? Because that needs to be the petroleum. And that, oops, that's the chlorine. The chlorine. Nasty stuff, chlorine. So, if we just stick this again into a vent, just so that it's all running. That's not a vent. But it is. Why has it not got the symbol on it there? Weird. So that's the chlorine. That's the hydrogen. That's the chlorine. That's the petroleum. Okay. Now we need to feed it salt water. No, we don't. We need to feed it salt and water, don't we? Yeah, we need to feed it pure water and salt. Well, we've already got some pure water being made over here, which I've unfortunately lined up with that. Okay. So maybe if we take this down. And then we can pinch this from here. Okay, and then we need to feed it salt. Where in the heck do we get salt? Salt. Salt? Salt. Oh, we get it from... Okay. So basically, I see. So this is assumed to be salt water. Okay. And that's what it means then by... So when it says pure water, what it actually kind of means is distilled water. Okay. So I don't mind putting them such random distances apart. So what, any kind of like burny thing. Oh, it's the chemical furnaces. But yeah, the idea, I guess, is that it's do I need fuel as well, don't I? Yeah. Which isn't going to work like that then, is it? No. It's basically just dehydrating the water, so it's basically boiling the water. Oh, that wouldn't work anyway. So yeah, we'll take the water from there. I could get 3 in, couldn't I? And then I need some kind of fuel. Oops. Coming one way, so that salt can go the other. So now this obviously is the genius reason I put on the coal. Oops. Because we need coal to burn. But Beans has returned. Hello, welcome back. Sorry if that was a while ago. I got carried away again. Right, so we do need this, or we need some sort of burnable stuff. So if I maybe just put this on, say, a couple, because we don't need that much coal. Okay, so if we run it along the side of this, then that's bound to get in the way, which is obviously what we want. Oh, there you go. Said it was. In fact, why don't I put it on the other side? Let's go and cut this off a bit now. It's filled up the bell already. Okay. I always like the weird jig it does, the engineer, because it obviously pauses every time when you do a deconstruct or whatever. So you get this da-da-da-da. Like it's doing a little dance. Right. Oops. Plug this in over here. Like so. And then we need to hook this up. In fact, if I do that, don't need the underground. Oh, bum. Okay, let's get some lights on it. So that's the sodium hydroxide. No, isn't it? A salt. Good old sodium chloride. I assume. Obviously, I've not ratioed any of this. I've just sort of thrown it together, really. 2 have no recipe. I guess that's because these aren't doing anything yet. No, I just forgot to set them. No. 2 assemblers and 1 smelter. Smelter. Well, they're fine. Two assemblers and one smelter. Oh. Yeah, some of them are way off, aren't they? So the hydrogen, disposal is way too slow. But I kind of knew that. The point is, we are now making some of both of those and this. And we are limited, I guess, by these. No, so it looks like it's more to do with the rate at which petroleum is being processed. Which, of course, yeah, it's backing up into a machine anyway, so you're not getting a true representation. Okay. Okay. So I'm now making, or I now have the capacity / small production of sulphur engines and sodium hydroxide. The electronic circuit boards is clearly a different question for a different time, because they were very complicated. What I could do to see how far I can get really is set up some military science. I'm a bit surprised, if I'm honest. It might just because I missed the alerts that we've not had any walls attacked, because these are starting to get into the territory where the next colonisations would attempt to be, inside the walls. Because we've not got any pollution problems. Because I made sure that was huge. We've got loads of trees. So it'd be colonisations that would try and come in. And they're pretty rare, I don't know if Bob's messes about with them, but they're pretty rare occurrences, so you don't get too many. I'm surprised we had none at all. Not that there's much ammo in any of these boxes. Okay, anyway, point is, let's go and see if we can make some military science. Now that we know, broadly speaking, how to make them. I'm probably going to put them on a train and sort of maybe run it up the coast here. I quite fancy the idea of this initial base being a bit sort of... I always think it looks really cool when people have trains inside, inside their factory, as it were, where they drop off, sort of like this. Well, a bit like that. Dangerous, but cool. Right, what are we doing? Let's see if we can make some military science. I don't quite know why. So I don't normally build the quite like this, because what I normally do is I try and run another belt up the middle. So I don't quite know why I've done that, but I have. Should I just get rid of that? Yeah. So let's move this sort of one back. Because I'm kind of thinking if I just sort of build military over here. Up in the top here somewhere maybe. I can probably use like what's left of all this here. If I just sort of run that, do a loop. So I've then got a bit of space to build anything I want to build there that uses these ingredients. But then the remainder goes into military science. I should probably upgrade all the belts. Anyway, let's get these bits done. these back. Ooh, don't know why I put fasts in. There we go. And then these want to be grabbing from there. And then those two and that one. No. It's the inner ones, isn't it? It's a little confusing with them not being, with them being the same colour. So, oops. Okay. Okay. So for some reason I went with ratioed machines. So let's see what ratioed machines would look like for military. I say that. Do they produce weird numbers in Bob's? No, it's just one. So I've gone. So it's a 5 second. Well, it's a 10-second craft time for 2. So it's a 5-second craft time for 1, effectively. So that's in theory built. I say I don't think there's enough material coming in to sort of support this really, but whatever. And then if I do maybe so say it'd be 5 machines. I might just do 4 though, so that if I try and target sort of more. Yeah, we'll just have 4 machines, and then if I do end up being able to make enough stuff, I can have the overrun going into boxes. But it's like, I mean, so we'll probably have to run a load of extra lines from other production. Not that we can't support that now with the trains, but what do I need rate-wise? So it'd be 1 wall every 5 seconds. No, it's 1 wall every second, isn't it? And half a grenade and half an ammo. Yeah, so it'd be the stone brick that's going to be tricky. Do I therefore need... Yeah, I think I probably do. So I'll move that up. I'll have... so this needs to be a feed-in line. Yeah, so I'll have some boxes basically here, but I need this to be there. Don't want to do that one up the middle. So it doesn't matter really, does it? Could do that one up the middle, you see, still. Yeah, it's going to overlap either way. Okay. Wait. Right, so that's the output. And this needs to be one of the inputs here. Or maybe if I move it up a bit, give us a little room. So we can have the stone walls being made here. Which are obviously defences. So because they only have half a second craft time, but we would need to get 5 stone brick to them. That's the tricky part. Okay. No. No. It's the offset I want to do, which is like that. Yeah. Okay. So if we use fasts, see, be amazed if we can get this sort of production volume coming in from what we've got left over here. In fact, let's. So I'll just build this in. Almost for the sake of it. But what we want to do is what? Let's give ourselves a bit of room. Split this. We're going to need the copper. Actually, let's do them the other way around. Okay. Okay. Yeah, because I mean it's not 5 a second is the basic point. It's going to be because this only supplies 7.5 full stop. So I suppose with it being grey machines, it might actually work. But yeah, I can take off. Where is stone brick? It's over here, isn't it? Here we go. So if I grab. This whole thing could do with upgrading to yeah, let's just run it around the outside, I think. Yeah, could do with upgrading to yellow belt, I guess, but yeah. Right. Oops. Okay, so that's more stone brick. I think that one's a fairly easy upgrade to yellow belt because oh no it isn't. Oh no it isn't. I'm sure it'll work itself out. I haven't managed to disconnect this though. Have I done that? And why have I got an extra thing there? Why is that even a kink? Let's put the preference for the input on the left. So whatever's gone through the system is preferred. Do I want a balancer on that? Yeah, it'll be fine. Okay. So make these longer each ones. No. Extra flexibility of them is cool with bobs, but it can also get a bit confusing, I've got to say. Right, so let's do a steel chest, an inserter, and a couple of rows of walls. Am I going to make it a fast one? Yeah, go on. Okay, so that's our box of runoff things that I can't remember now. Stone wool. And then we want... In fact, it probably needs to be a fast one as well. So this is going to be our combined AP ammo and grenades. So one on one side and one on the other. But we also need to look up numbers. Oops. Probably easier if this is the grenades. Oh, it's different than that, isn't it? Because it's... I think it's 8. Oh, no, that's okay. 8-second craft time. And I only need... So 8 of them. Oh, let's just use blooming rate calculator. Why have a brain when you've got a rate calculator? So that's too many machines, which is what we want. Cool. But only just too many. But what I need out of this is in basic belt terms, a third of a lane and a, yeah, okay. So we can have a lane here that's coal, which we might as well what? Because that's my coal there, isn't it? Let's because I can't run past them. Let's why don't I extend one of these? So if I put one of those on there. Other way around. Okay. Oh. Now, that's the coal, isn't it? So let's put that there. Will that hop over that one? Yeah. 100% sure why I'm mixing the belts up so much, but how am I doing on power? Yeah, we're okay. Oop. So that gets them coal, eventually. I'm not sure it's enough coal, is it? Because they need like a third of a basic belt, and that would only be half of a basic belt. So I need to do the same. Somewhere else. Guess I could do it here since I've already got a filter on. But this is, I'm not making enough stone. Oh, stone brick, I don't think. Where am I going to hook that up? So if I take that across here, like that. That should give me a full lane of that. I say this probably needs extending up. Oh, actually, it looks like there's a missing. Why is that being all stuttery and weird? But yeah, we need more brick. Need more stone. I mean, I could upgrade these, couldn't I? Make a lot of difference, but it'll help. I think I'm effectively starving that of stone though, because I think there's enough furnaces there to consume all the stone, but we're not currently doing anything with stone. Okay. You also need iron plate. Which you're gonna have to get. No. No, that's weird. There we go. From there. So that needs to be iron plate. So if I make this firearm magazines, then we need copper and steel, basically. Is that 3-to-1 still? Okay, it's 3-to-1. And I'm not going to have room if I do that, am I? No. I mean, how much are you actually consuming between you? Yeah, it's half a belt. Okay. So if we put the iron plate on one side, especially with obs, we can have it output on the other side. And that should be okay between them. Oh. So you have the copper and steel there. So I don't know why I'm mixing the belts up so much. Let's just make them all basic. Yeah, will you not auto replace? Okay. Don't then, see if I can. See if I can. But that one needs to be shorter then, doesn't it? Okay. Although I guess it's going to come, yeah, it's going to come the other direction, isn't it? Why haven't you got power? Oh, that won't work now, will it then? If I'm doing that. It would need to come from that direction. Can I do that? In which case, let's swap them round. So this is the yellow. Now that needs to be an... No, that needs to be output, but the closest, and I need it to be on the inside, and we need to put the iron, oops, the iron on the inside. Is that iron there? I think that's iron. I'll just get this done and then I'll call it a day. So I probably don't need two of them, do I? Oh no. No, it's not quite coping. Okay. But then is it delivering enough? Well, it isn't now, because it's... Look at that. It's going right down. Okay. So this is the iron coming in. Is it on the right side? Yes, because that becomes an iron, that becomes a magazine. You can grab that. Okay, so this then, which also is going to come from the other direction, needs to be a combined steel and copper. Combined steel and copper. Well, I know we've got copper here. That's bad, isn't it? how about... So if we make the filter stone brick on the other side, get rid of that copper, then that gives us a copper line. We want to be outside. Let's make this filter to steel. Get rid of that pollution. Oops. Oh. Right. Oh, there's still some pollution on the belt. Nearly there. Nearly there. Just need some basic belt. I was talking about how I needed to upgrade it a minute ago, and now I'm just sticking in basic belt everywhere. Right. Just let that run through. I just want to see what's going on with the old stone brick stone situation. Situation in question is that, yeah, it's using an entire thing of stone, which it's getting because this is actually yellow belt. That's basic belt terms, isn't it? Yeah. So the basic belt is twice as fast, but it's only half a lane. How is that even working then? So, oh yeah, half a yellow belt, yeah, is the equivalent of a regular belt, but that's using that entire lane then. This is stuttery, so there is more capacity there. So we could take it up to red belt for just this little section here. Up there, you see. And then that tiny extra would still make sure stone is going up there. Okay. So just do that. We don't need to take it all the way up, just halfway. Which this isn't going to do. Ignore that. Just need two more, I guess. Ow. Cool. So we're not actually using stone, but obviously it's used in railway, so we don't want it to be completely taken away. There you go. But it's only, I mean, it's only half a basic belt. I mean, not that this matters, but oh look, military science is happening. But yeah, in theory, it would need 3/4 of a basic belt, so it's not actually couldn't possibly produce enough. But you know, it's military science, we only need it for a few bits and pieces. Until obviously the point where we need it for more than that. Oh, that's a wrong output. Now, is this producing, theoretically, excess? Yeah, excess red and excess grenades. Okay, so we can put the excess of those two in chests as well. Yeah, let's use fasts. Oh, it needs to be fast filtered, doesn't it? So you need to do... Ooh, you only need to do what? Grenades. I mean, I'm making grenades and stuff anyway, but you can never have enough grenades. So let's grab that. And that. Wait, wrong one. I don't know. When we need them, we'll need millions, so... Cool. Is everyone running? Yep. Okay. I think that's military science done. To celebrate, let's do a military science. What would be good? Would be lasers or something like that. Just to give us that variety. Not I imagine that we could run lasers. Okay. Right then. So that's it for today, I think. So next time, I guess I should really work on batteries or something like that. To start with, so that I could do lasers. Oh, we've sort of got basic... Where would they be? Would they be in regular... Oh, there we go. Oh, excuse me. Plastic bars. Look. Oh, thank you very much for the follow, George82872. Very much appreciated. So that's not radic. I mean, it's more. I mean, it's kind of the thing of Bob's, isn't it? That they're mostly a bit more realistic, the recipes. So it's sulphuric acid, and it's lead plate and plastic rather than, is it iron copper you have to put in the regular one? Not that that's actually, because that's how they used to have batteries. Used to be a mismatch of materials, basically. I can't remember what you call that effect. Hello, how are you doing? And how are you doing? Yes, I'm well, George. Thank you. I say for the follow and hope you're watching. I'm actually I'm finishing off as it happens. So I'm not sure if you've been watching, but I'm just wrapping up. I'm trying to put in my head for next week what I need to do, which is batteries. What I might do, so that we don't have the silly bit at the beginning with me standing there going, well, what was I doing? If I just pop in a machine and put the batteries and stand next to it, then hopefully I'll remember. I'm not promising anything. But the next big job is blue science, which we have researched, haven't we? I did set that going. So chemical science. And we got everything bar blue circuits, which appear to be quite the complex build. I suspect we're getting into the territory there where a little dedicated build is probably the way to go. I don't know what ingredients it needs. There's obviously the chemical stuff. But it looks like we're getting into this territory where Bob's gets properly complicated. I guess, would it be in regular intermediates? No. There we go. So this electronic circuit board. Because solders, in fact, don't we have 2 recipes for solder? No, that's tin copper, isn't it? But yeah, we need solders, basic electronic components. Transistors is something we haven't made but yet. And then we got the blue circuit board. But that's fairly basic. Oh no, ferric chloride solution and phenolic board. Oh, that's just made out of wood, isn't it? So we've got laser turrets. I guess I could put a little machine in with them as well. Because that's sort of why I'm thinking about getting lasers. Okay. But yes, so, hopefully I will be able to be in your next stream for a bit longer. That's no problem. I didn't mean that in a negative way. It's just that I was wrapping up. So I will pop up my schedule. Let's just pause that. There we go. So this is the regular schedule, if I don't chop the top of my head off, which is basically, so normally on a Saturday I will stream from 6 o'clock, and that's when I'm normally playing the Bob's mods. Obviously a bit different this week because of New Year's. I hadn't actually planned to stream at all this week. I was meant to be going out for a drink with, or going to a friend's for a few drinks, but unfortunately he had to cancel because, well, he got flu I think rather than COVID, but he's ill. So I didn't have any drinks last night, so I wasn't hungover, so I thought I'd stream. But normally, I say the Bob's stream would be on the Saturday, starting at 6 o'clock and going till whenever I get tired. And then Sunday is my alternating other series. So I have 2. No, is it 2 or is it 3? No, it's 2 other series on the go. One is Aesthetic Factorio, where I'm ripped a hole in my thumb. Where I'm attempting to build attractive looking bases, so like nicely laid out factories, and I'm using all sorts of Dectorio mods and cargo ships. I've been making harbours. They're awesome, them harbours. All sorts of stuff that I'm trying to make look pretty, basically. What we'll actually probably do tomorrow, because I'll do Sunday stream on Monday, because it's a bank holiday in the UK, is the series where I'm building my standardised blueprint library, which is entirely vanilla. It's me making another mega base, but it's doing so with blueprints. And I'm currently testing the blueprints up to bots. Unfortunately, I didn't quite get to bots last time I streamed that series, so I will attempt to get to bots. Well, I will get to bots tomorrow, and then it's looking at how the bus blueprints. I'm not fussed about testing them too much at this stage, but I might as well just plough on and see how far I get. But basically, there's a Kickstarter base and a bots base, and basically the idea is it gets you up to the point where you can. Well, I mean, if you don't want to do a bus, you wouldn't have to follow the recipes, but I usually use a bus to launch a rocket, so it would build up to that point. And I say the idea, it sort of follows on. I did a mega base series, and it took me ages because of how I normally play without blueprints. It took me ages to get to even rocket launch, and I was sort of you know, almost fed up by the time I was trying to make the mega base. Anyway, that's tomorrow. I say that'll be at 6 o'clock, I imagine. Oh, that would be at 3 o'clock. Oh, I've got them the wrong way round then, haven't I? I might do it later on because it's, I say, I might, yeah, whenever. There'll be a notification on my Twitter anyway. Rambling away. So, I used to play Factorio a lot and I've just got back into it, so I look forward to watching the streams and learning a lot. Yeah, no problems. I'm always more than happy to answer questions. I've got quite a few thousand hours and I've been playing the game continuously, so if you've got any questions you do want to fire at me, then please do. It's trickier to, because I like to show things, you know, when people ask questions I can sort of show them, but when I'm playing them, like this is Bob's mods, and obviously a lot of stuff is different, so I can't sometimes answer the questions if it's in Bob's mods, but certainly the other series, it's basically all vanilla with like bells and whistles, so they're perfect for me just showing you stuff if you've got simple questions, like, because people are asking about how to put things on belts, and you know, more than happy to answer any questions like that, and just generally, you know, because it's my favourite game, Factorio, so I know quite a bit about it. I'm not as good as Nidhouse at optimising things, but yeah. So if you wanted to catch up on anything I've done, then I put the VODs up on my YouTube channel, which is also Trismegistus, but it's alias to Triggles, so you can go and have a look there and maybe get an idea of some of the series I am doing, if any of those are of interest. Yeah, so I say that's that there. I will also be chopping out the start of this stream. I did a talk through of the latest Friday Facts, speculating about what they've showed, teased about the expansion. So I'll be chopping that out and putting it up as a separate video as well. If you wanted to take a look at that. But yes, that's me. Done for today. What time are we at? 7 o'clock, yeah. I don't think there's anything else. I say it'll be back to normal schedule from now on, so Saturday, Sunday, Bob's and other series. And I will catch you then. If you have been watching, I hope you've enjoyed it. I got my outro on then. If you've been watching, I hope you've enjoyed it and you might consider coming back for another one. I've been Trismegistus. This has been Factorio. Thanks for watching. Cheers.